Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Ike's Tech Talk weekly live stream. Y'all know how it goes down on a Thursday night with your boy Ike. What up, what up, what up, what up, party people? Hope everything is good with y'all out there. Just checking video, audio, all that good stuff, man. Yeah, we're good, we're good. Let me mute that. All right, cool, cool. Hope everybody is doing good out there, man. I've been a ghost this week, man. I haven't been able to catch anybody else's streams or nothing, man. And I feel terrible about it because typically I'm on point, even if I'm on replay squad. But I'll have to try to binge everybody's stuff tomorrow, man. And then obviously close out with LaShawn doing his thing with the open mic night. So like I said, just had a super busy week. So glad as always that tomorrow is Friday, man. It's not payday Friday, which is the only thing that can make it better, but it is Friday. So I am so happy that it is Friday, dude, because it has been a week. But let's go ahead and get in the roll call, man. We got some new developments, and a couple, not a couple, but got some articles, man. Some stuff is going on in the tech stratosphere. So got quite a bit that I want to talk about, man. Some new product launches. We got some spicy Google versus Apple with iMessage and what's going on over with the UK and Europe. We got Samsung trying to do their thing with some generative AI. So we got plenty to talk about, man. And I am so excited to get into it with all of y'all. So let's go ahead and get right into it, man. So first things first, I see we got the homie Umar in the building. He said, what's up with you, my good sir? Hope everything is well on that end. I actually was talking to Umar about kind of some of the developments behind the scenes, and he was pretty happy about it too. I see we also got Shay, Queen of Stellar Nation Kennedy, in the building. Man, these lights. I got the Elgato key lights, and they always make my eyes water because they're really bright. But Shay, Queen of Stellar Nation Kennedy, in the building. What up? Hope everything is good with you. JoJo the Techie's in the building. What's up, Miss JoJo? Hope everything is good with you as well. Oh, I thought I saw something else. I'm tripping. Hawks in the building. What up? Hope everything is good with you. I see Jeff. Blessings on your day, sir. Appreciate all the love and the support. Gwendolyn G doing it big. She got the wave, y'all. What up? Hope everything is good with you. And then I see the homie Renz. Renz, it's been a minute, man. How you been? How's everything going on that end? Hope everything is good with you. But yeah, man, it's been a minute. Let me know how everything's been. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of get right into the developments, man. Talk a little bit about what's going on. So we talked about it was it last week? Pretty sure it was last week we talked about it. So I did have to send back and get a refund for my Pixel 8 Pro. I had some hardware stuff going on, and I'll just talk about it now. It is what it is. So essentially what was going on was that my volume buttons and my power buttons, so my hardware buttons, just were not working. I thought it was maybe an app or something I downloaded. So obviously I went back and took a look at apps, any settings that I may have adjusted, anything that I may have given, some extra permissions or something like that that shouldn't have been there. Whatever the case may be, I was taking a look, trying to see what was going on. And for whatever reason, couldn't really find anything there. And it was like a progressive thing, like a gradual thing over time. It wasn't anything where it was like immediate one morning I just woke up and hardware buttons weren't working. It was like over time. Like I would notice them be just like a little bit less responsive. And at first I thought it was me. Because I was like, well, maybe I'm just not pushing the buttons hard enough, or, whatever the case may be. And like I said, I couldn't really tell what the issue was. So after I went back, got rid of some apps and stuff like that, I was like, you know what? I hate doing it, but let me go ahead and just factory reset. Let me go ahead, factory reset, and kind of see if that takes care of the issue. Hold on one second, y'all. Trying to make sure. Because I'm getting a notification on my thing. Interesting. Oh, I'm such a slow person. So I had something scheduled. I had a tweet scheduled to go out. I'm like, why didn't this tweet go out. Now I gotta tweak this out, cause yeah, man, I'll be scheduling tweets and don't even be paying attention. All right, that is good. Excuse me. Back to what I was saying. Buttons, yeah, buttons. So buttons on my Pixel 8 Pro was not working, whatever. Tried to look at apps, permissions, settings, all of that good stuff, yo. Like all of that good stuff. And nothing worked. I must have installed, like, I want to say I have at least maybe 40, 50 apps on my phone. Nothing too crazy. But I uninstalled maybe at least like a quarter of them. Still was having the same issue. And like I said, it was progressive. It started off with it just kind of being finicky. Like I was like, I know I'm sick. I like it was like I know I'm clicking the button, but it just wouldn't work. And at first, it was just the volume up button. It was just the volume up button, and I was weirded out. But I was like, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong, or whatever the case may be. I wasn't on any betas. I was on stable, so that was kind of out of it. And then after that, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead, factory reset. I factory reset the device, and at first it was fine. I didn't have any issues. Everything was gravy. Everything was cool. And out of nowhere, it gradually started doing the same thing again, except this time it started with my power button. Stop it, Genosis. Absolutely not. It started with my power button instead of my volume button. So again, I don't know what the issue was, or what was going on. I was like, let me just throw the beta on. Maybe it's a bug that's not well known, and no one knows about it, so no one's talking about it. Maybe I'm the only person with this. It seemed like a hardware thing, so I didn't want to like start putting it on blast, because obviously nobody else has had this issue. So I'm like, okay, it could end up being my unit, and if it is what it is, a RMA, and call it a day. But anyway, after the reset, still happened, this time with the power button. I upgraded to the beta, still exact same thing, except once I got to the beta, after like an hour and a half, I want to say, it was the power button and both my volume buttons were just randomly not working. Like I would double click the power button to launch into the camera, and it would just sit on the lock screen as if I did not press the button. And then I'd have to double click the power buttons again to get it to actually go into the camera. So at that point, I'm like, yeah, nah, it's definitely something wrong with my device. I asked a couple of people kind of in my, smaller circle. Because like I said, the last thing I want to do is, like I said last week, is put it out there or make a video like this issue, like it's something super widespread or something, when it was really just me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, let me just go ahead, send it back. At the time, I already was kind of being pulled back to my Pixel Fold a little bit anyway. Just something about the device just really made me kind of miss it. It's not that I wanted to get rid of the 8 Pro, or I preferred, the Fold to the 8 Pro and all of that. I'm honestly about even with them, because they kind of serve two different purposes for me. But yeah, it was just really weird, and I didn't know what the issue really was, or why it was happening. So I said, you know what, let me just send it back. I'll sit on it, and then I'll decide if I want to pick up another 8 Pro or whatever the case may be. So I sent that back. I talked about that last week. I didn't have any issues. That wasn't indirectly my fault. I sent it back. Their customer service was actually surprisingly pretty good. The only issue I did have was that I shipped the phone and the watch in the same package with the same label. Whereas, even though it's a bundle, because I had to send back the watch too, unless I wanted to pay for it, which I didn't. Um, yeah, I just don't feel like I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say anybody shouldn't buy the Pixel Watch 2. I'm just saying, for that much money, I think that there may be some better options for you, like overall. But anyway, getting off track. So I send it back. They're really, really dope about it. I got the refund for the phone first, and I'm like, okay, this refund is short. Like I'm being short at like $350 here. And I didn't put two and two together until a little bit later on in the day. And I'm like, bro, like why is Google shorting me $350 on my refund? So then wow. So then what I decided to do, I got an email from them, and they were like, hey, we only received part of your return. So I'm like, oh, excuse my French, if y'all got kids listening. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. they about to try some BS. Like, I didn't send the watch back, but I really did. Like, bro, I was getting upset, right? I was getting upset. And come to find out, when you go to their site and you're doing an RMA, that you have to send back, pretty much you got to send back each thing separately. So even if you get a bundle with a watch or a pair of buds, you have to send them back separately since they are two separate products. Which now hindsight is 2020. You know what I'm saying? So I'm done with you, Ace. I see that. Let me get through with the story and then we'll get through the rest of the roll call. But anyway, so yeah, I'm like, you know what? It is what it is, whatever, blah blah blah. I call in, talk to somebody there, and the guy, was super friendly. I even ended up calling pretty late. It was maybe about 11:30 at night too. So I was surprised that I was even able to get somebody on the phone at that time of night, but I'm pretty sure it's outsourced. The accent did sound a little foreign, so kind of is what it is. To be expected. I'm not expecting anybody to be there at 2 o'clock in the morning taking phone calls because of my Pixel return issues. But anyway, so called in, dude was super friendly. I explained kind of what happened and things like that, and he put in a ticket. Now it took them like a week and a half, 2 weeks for everything to kind of finish and kind of complete. And yeah, everything completed, I want to say on like a Wednesday, right? So I got an email on Wednesday saying, long story short, hey, the second portion of your return, we got it back, blah, blah, blah. Everything's gravy. I looked at my balance. My balance on my financing is good. So that money's been put back. My credit for my trade-in is now in my Google Store account. So if I want to buy Pixel Fold 2 next year, I should, if you can use credit and your like use your Google Store credit and your financing, I should be able to get my Pixel Fold 2 directly through Google next year. Because my trade-in went back into my Google Store account or whatever. It didn't get refunded onto my card or anything like that. So it all ended up working out. But anyway, to continue the story to where it gets interesting, right? So why did that pop up? So come Friday morning. Oh, Rhino shoot. Come Friday morning, I get a for anyone who has like FedEx and UPS and United States Postal Service delivery notifications. I have notifications set up for all of them for my house. If I'm getting a package, I like to know it's coming. So I get a notification from UPS saying, hey, you have a email saying, hey, you have a package scheduled for delivery today. And I'm like, I didn't order anything. It was in my name, so I didn't think that the missus ordered it. But I still was kind of like, okay, something is a little weird because obviously if she orders something, she's gonna put her name on the package. So I'm like, it's probably like a case or something that I forgot. I talked to a couple of brands and whatever. So package gets here. Package gets here. I'm at the post office box because I have like a little separate box. I open the box and lo and behold, Pixel 8 Pro is in the packaging. So my first thought was, let me call the customer service bank number or whatever. Call it, listen to my balance. My balance sounds right. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, let me call Google. I call Google. They're like, we don't have any records of sending anything out to you. And the next thing they asked me, they were like, well, did the serial number, did the serial numbers match? And I was like, you know what? I didn't think about that. Maybe they sent me back the phone resealed because it was in box, brand new, sealed, everything. I'm like, well, maybe they resealed it and sent it back to me and it's the same one. The watch did not come back with it. So I'm like, well, maybe they just sent me the phone back because of all the confusion. So no watch was in there. Serial numbers are different. Serial numbers are different. Serial numbers are different. So they were like, interesting. They put me on hold for about 5 or 10 minutes. They came back. They were like, we have no record of you ordering or sending anything. I said, interesting. Now I'm somebody like I'm not the type of person to try to pull a fast one or get over it. I'm somebody who believes in karma. You know, what you put out there is what you receive. You know, you do a good deed somewhere down the line. Oh crap, I thought I heard somebody fall. A good deed, you know, you do a good deed, it comes back on you and everything is cool. And yeah, so I was like, look, I can return it. I don't have any issues with returning it, whatever. Um, yeah, I was like, I don't have a problem with that. Like that's just always who I've been. Kind of off record, but Team Pixel last year for the Pixel 7 Pro, I got two. And I never told anybody this, but a very few select people. I got two. I got two sets of the Pixel 7 Pro Team Pixel review kit with the mirrors and everything. I got two. And I hit up the contact that we have for Team Pixel, and I was like, look, y'all sent me two by accident. Send me a label. I'll send this back. And I got a label, and I sent the one that wasn't white back because I obviously wanted the Snow White. But yeah, so like I said, I'm not saying that as like a flex, like I'm a moral good guy, but like no, like I always believe like you should do the right thing, you know, like if I know I didn't buy something or I didn't order something, I'm not gonna sit here and just take it, right? But the customer service guy was like, look, he said, I don't have a record to do an RMA on, so I can't put in a fake RMA, so to speak, or not RMA, but like a fake return for you to return it. So he was like, I'm gonna kind of leave it there. I said, well, you have a great evening, you know, have a great rest of your shift. And I got off the phone. Now that happened about a week ago or so. And I've been like a hawk eyeing my bank, making sure. There's no orders in my Google Store account. There's no orders on any of my cards, no orders on anything. So looks like we might have gotten a free one. Like it looks like we may have gotten a freebie. So I guess I gotta, whenever I eventually get around to doing some more videos for this, because I kind of talked about that last week too. But whenever I get around to doing some more videos on the 8 Pro, I guess I will have to say gift from Google, maybe. I don't know. Not Team Pixel, but gift from Google. But let's go ahead and get into roll call, man. I know I took like the long road to get to that story, but I felt like y'all needed the entirety of the context so y'all can know everything that I went through in regards to this. Oh, also, I've had it for over a week at this point. No more hardware button issue. I think I just had a bad unit. I did have the pink always on display though. I had that bug. I updated to the beta 2.2, whatever the latest one is. That bug's been fixed. So no bugs. Everything else has been absolutely gravy. So I'm with it. I'm with it. Yo, T. Dot Holla, what up? What up? Hope everything is good with you. Appreciate you coming through. Lulu in the building. What up? What up, man? Hope everything is good with you too, man. Umar said, I mean, it was a good development. It was, bro. It was. It brought some tears to my eyes. I was like, oh, doing the right thing, man. Doing the right thing. Yo, Genosis, what up? What up, man? What did JoJo say? She said you were the buttons. Yeah, I was pushing them wrong, JoJo. Ace is in the building. What up? What up, man? Hope everything is good with you. Yo, we gotta make sure everybody is sub to. I'm pointing this direction like he's over here. There we go. Everybody make sure that y'all go drop a sub to Ace, man. Like I already was under the impression that Ace was well over 1,000 subs. Like if anybody would have asked me, I'd be like, oh yeah, you know, Ace is definitely over 1,000. I'm pretty sure he's not over 1,000, but he's somebody who needs to be. Like Ace is one of them dudes who's just mad genuine. So if you're not subscribed to Ace, man, go check out his content. If you like what you see, man, drop the man a sub. Like Ace puts in work, yo. Genosis said, long story short, Ike's become an Apple only channel. Yeah, that's what I was talking about when I was like, stop it, sir, because ain't no way. Ain't no way I could be only anything, man. I try to buy everything. I would buy everything if I could. He said I had to do an RMA recently on my 64 gigabyte RAM kit. Still waiting on a response. What brand and manufacturer, Genosis? So I can stay away from them. Hey, Slang in this thing. He said Nothing Watch Pro is better. 69 bucks. But Slang, what are you getting for that $69? Like, is it actually good? Like notifications, that type of stuff? Like, give me the rundown, dog. Cause I'm sure you liking it the way you talking here. So let me know, dog. Let me know. Urban Fire in the building. What up, big homie? Hope everything is good with you. whatever the case may be, Rinky kind of dope. Yeah, man, just drop that Rinky joint on y'all for the Pixel 8 Pro. Rinky Clear Fusion was my favorite case for the 7 Pro last year. And that's saying something because it did not have MagSafe. I just loved that clear case. It did yellow after like 6 or 7 months, but it was so cheap. It was like 13 bucks. You could buy another one. A said, did the serial numbers match? Because we have no record. Ike was like, click. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, JoJo, it is looking that way. It is looking that way. It is looking that way. Oh, man. He said, long story short, the purpose of this stream is an RMA strategy to get a free Pixel 8 Pro. I don't know how lucky you're going to be. Your mileage may vary. Your mileage may vary. I know, JoJo. I used to always feel like that too. I used to be like, yo, I'm not lucky. Like, everything happens to everybody else. But I don't know. I always feel like, man, like, push come to shove, like, karma's out there. Like, you know, you do good for people, good things happen back to you, you know. And it may not always seem that way, but yeah. Genosis said, Ike, time to RMA your new phone. Check the bank account again. See if they refund. Dog, that would be why. I wouldn't do that, Joseph. That's too much. I would feel bad at that point. Like, I already feel bad because it is, but I would feel bad, like really bad, if that happened, yo. Jojo said, hashtag RMA from Google. Facts. Gifted by Google RMA. Team Pixel RMA. Oh, no problem, dude. It's 100% genuine, man. I don't shout out everybody, so it's 100% genuine. Oh, G-Skill. Yeah, G-Skill's a dope brand. I had G-Skill in my last build, because my last build from the ground up, I built it. This build that I have now, I got an HP Omen from Best Buy, dog. I was like, let me get something real quick that's going to give me what I need. So this one, I don't got no G-Skill, but I've had G-Skill in the past. Zero issues, man. Hey, LaShawn, you missed the entire story, dog. You missed the entire story. Slang said, when I'm done with it and the video is done, I'll send it to you to check out. Oh, bet. I'll take a look at it for sure, man. For sure. Hey, Galen in the building. What up, man? Hope everything is good with you. Scoop in the building too. He said, well, what's up, man? Yo, congrats on your new developments too, Scoop. I know you out there doing it big, sir. Just got locked in for a big gig, sir. So congratulations to you, man. But I took up way too much time talking that. Yeah, pretty much, Lewis. So to make a super long story short, I keep hearing it sound like somebody's falling. Maybe it's above me. It's people upstairs. Living in an apartment, right? But anyway, yeah. Long story short, my original Pixel 8 Pro, I had to RMA because I had a hardware defect on mine, and not RMA. I keep saying RMA. I sent it back. Refund completely. Sent me another one. By accident. I would think it's by accident. I'm gonna go with that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, who knows the real truth? But fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Cause like if I ever were to like be charged for it, I would just be like, all right. I was already kind of in between on whether I was gonna like straight up RMA it or whatever anyway. So yeah, I ended up getting lucky, man. Oh, for sure. Scoop already knows he's the GOAT. Hold on, I got to do the boy. Hold on, man. Just a little F1 team deal. That's just us putting it politely. Nah. Scoop's that dude, man. Congrats, big homie. You definitely deserve it, dog. Scoop is definitely one of the best photographers I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't care what nobody say. Yeah, LaShawn, I know. It's pretty crazy, dog, right? Yeah, I didn't say anything. I only told a couple people because I was like, look, I don't want to look like that guy, and then you turn around and end up getting like charged or something later, and you like, yeah, like, oh, okay, like now I look like a jackass, right? So, yeah, but let's go ahead and get into it, man. Like I said, I took up way too much time talking about that. It's already almost halfway through the stream, but I needed to share that with y'all, man. But let's get into it. So first things first, I did say we were gonna get just a little bit spicy, man. I think it is this one. Yeah. All right. So we're going to start here. Google wants Europe. Galen, I still got my eyes on it, man. I want to really badly, man. But right now, I just can't afford it, dude. Like, if I could afford it, 100%. If the money was there, the first time me and you talked about it, when you saw it, out in Hawaii, bro, I would have already had it on order. Dead serious. Like, I really, really want to try one, man. But I just don't have it right now. I don't have it right now. He said, I need to go out and buy a lottery ticket. Nah, man, I ain't buying no lottery tickets, dog. I'm one that's like the lottery's a scam. I'm a conspiracy theorist for my little Hershey Kiss. What is the dude from Signs? Joaquin Phoenix in the scene from Signs where he has like the little tinfoil hat. That's me right there with the lottery, dog. Free Pixel seems spicy. You right. You right. That is pretty spicy. That is pretty spicy. Galen said, that's my issue. This would be 100% my first foldable. See, but I think with it being your first, dog, I think that that's a hell of a first foldable to have. Like a hell of a first foldable to have. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, Galen. I think you should go ahead and get it, bro. Like me and you already talked about the moves that you was talking about making. I think you need to go ahead and do it, dog. Like, go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I don't know if you have a Best Buy in your area, and I don't know what type of deal OnePlus will come up with, but I know Best Buy is doing like a 800 off the S23 Ultra. I know you still got your Ultra. I don't know if your Ultra's on. Yeah, your Ultra's unlocked or whatever. I know you got the Ultra, dog. I'm gonna be honest, that OnePlus Open is looking fire. You still got your 8 Pro if you maybe just want to use the 8 Pro for the camera side and the OnePlus for everything else. But the OnePlus has dope cameras from what I've seen too. So I don't know, dog. But like I said, if I could, it would already be here, dog. It would already be here. Yeah, I know Slang got one. I've been watching Slang's content too. Yeah, he said I'm gonna say love the Pixel Fold. Love my OnePlus Fold. Haven't touched the Pixel Fold since. Yeah, I'm not mad at it, dog. I'm looking at it and it's looking like OnePlus dropped some absolute fire, man. Some absolute fire. Yo, James Apple in the building. What up, what up, what up? Yo, James, what did you think about the AOT finale, man? Did it do the manga justice, bro? How did you like it? Galen said, that's true. Might have to wait and see these Black Friday deals. You right, you right. You right. Because I know Best Buy already has 300 off. You get 800 for trade-in. So you end up walking away if you activate it, and which you could do like Google Fi and then cancel. Like I was already looking into it. You can end up walking away with it for like 600 bucks, bro. And 600 bucks for that is an absolute steal. That's an absolute steal, man. So, LaShawn, you ain't never touched OnePlus. Stop sidetracking me. We supposed to be talking about this, but stop sidetracking me. A said, I'm not an Android kind of guy, but that Open. Yeah, man. That Open got a lot of people like, because I mean, like I said, I had the 10 Pro and I did like it for the little bit of time that I used it. But that was like the last OnePlus device that I like really used was the 10 Pro. I didn't use the 11. And then before the 10 Pro, the last one I used before that, I think was the 7 Pro. Like I had really fallen off OnePlus for a while, man. But that Open is opening a lot of people's eyes, man. Like OnePlus has been making banger phones for a while. And I definitely wouldn't feel any type of way if anyone were to say that, like from an overall perspective, like the best combination of everything, the OnePlus Open is probably the best foldable you can get here in the States. Well, once you're able to get it, right? Like it's sold out everywhere, but once you're able to get it, I wouldn't be mad at anybody for saying that it's the best foldable here in the States, yo. Seriously. Seriously. He said JJK might be competing for Animator. I still have not watched today's episode, so don't talk about it yet. You already know I'm gonna hit you up on Twitter about it, but I ain't watched it yet. I missed the OnePlus 7 Pro too. I wish they would have kept that design and just kept like modernizing it. I think I said that right. AOT seems to have a smooth ending versus the manga. The author had the end in mind, but I'm mixed. I like the fact that it ended up being this whole big, ooh, I'm about to spoil the Attack on Titan. My bad, y'all. Let me shut up. We'll talk on Twitter, James. I got you. Lewis said, got 3 free cases on Amazon before. First, never received it. When I called, it got disconnected first and second process it, then a day. Interesting. I'm with it. Slang said best foldable in the States. Facts. Yeah, I'm not even mad at it, dog. MPT said I'm stoked for the OnePlus 12 as long as battery life is equal or better than the 11. It will be killer. Yeah, I think with everything that they're adding, the OnePlus 12 is looking really solid too, MPT, for sure, dog. And what's up, man? Hope everything is good with you, big homie. Yeah, I almost completely destroyed it for you, Umar. I'm sorry. Like, I almost did, dog, and I caught myself. So I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna talk about it. Shut up, James. Stop. I'm about to remove that comment. Stop it. Stop it. I gotta remove that comment because some people ain't check it out yet. And not everybody reads manga. So we gotta talk on Twitter, dog. Hit me up. Slang said I've fallen in love with OnePlus. I've always liked them. The 11, the Buds Pro, and the Open are my 3 favorite products of all year. Now that's saying something. Oh, you said you did read the manga. I'm saying spoil it. Oh, okay. I thought you said you hadn't watched it. I'm not gonna spoil it, man, because I don't know who's watching. So I'm gonna keep it spoiler free, man, because I know how I would feel. I still am to this day pissed off that I got the in-game ending with Tony Stark dying, which if you ain't seen Endgame, I don't feel bad. It's like super old. But yeah, with Iron Man dying, I got that spoiled for me in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links chat room a week before, no, the day before I was about to go see it. So I still am salty about that to this day. So I'm not spoiling it at all. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this article, man. So Google wants Europe to classify iMessage as a gatekeeper that has to be interoperable. We'll go with that. Interoperable. I'm not gonna keep trying because I'm gonna keep getting it worse. Let me stop. But anyway, so the European Commission is currently investigating whether iMessage should fall under the DMA and therefore be subject to interoperability rules. Long story short, meaning that Apple would have to open up iMessage and allow third parties to use it and all that other good stuff. Now, Apple's already made arguments that iMessage is not big enough to be considered a gatekeeper, which when you think about it, typically I do sound like you when you trying to read words, LaShawn, for sure. But like typically when it comes to iMessage, you mainly see the dominance of it here in the States. But like worldwide, it's not nearly as big. So like the main gist of the article is like pretty much Google wants Europe to really push down and make them open this up, right? Now, here's my thing, because I know people are always like, Ike, you always playing both sides, blah, 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 whatever. It's not that I'm playing both sides with this, but I have a different perspective. I don't necessarily want Apple to open up iMessage for everybody to use. Like that's not what I'm asking for. If they did come out with iMessage for Android, would I subscribe to it? Yeah, just so I could send my wife videos and not have to worry about it looking like garbage. Pictures are generally fine, so I'm not mad with that. But videos look like actual garbage when you send from iPhone to Android and then vice versa. Now, I don't want iMessage to be opened up. That's not my goal. That's not my thought process. None of that. It's fine to have exclusive features for certain platforms if you make those platforms. Samsung has exclusive stuff. Apple obviously has exclusive stuff. Even Google has some exclusive stuff that they sometimes, against my better judgment, decide to make it open for everybody. But anyway, I digress. But I don't want iMessage to be open up. I Apple people, because I don't have an iPhone currently. Apple people, y'all can keep iMessage. I'm cool with that. Rock on. What I personally want is Apple to make the backup, the fail-safe RCS. That's what I want. So the way, if you look at it, the way that it currently flows is, and I can use me and my wife as an example, right? So if I send my wife a text message, right? It goes through like a system of checks and balances, like true, false, Boolean logic for all my coders out there. So it says, is Isaiah using an iPhone or this contact using an iPhone? If no, take it as an SMS, you get a green bubble. If I am using an iPhone, then that's obviously how you get a blue bubble. Now, what I would like Apple to do is to say, okay, we're gonna put RCS in the middle of SMS and iMessage as the failsafe. So if I send my wife a text message, it'll say, does he have iMessage? Yes or no? No. Does he have RCS? Yes or no? If I have RCS active, which I do, then RCS takes over that particular message. If I don't have RCS for some reason, then it goes to SMS. That's what I want, right? That's what I want. I understand a lot of people are in favor of this because they feel like overall it's a good move for Apple to not have this kind of lock-in mindset with their exclusive features or whatever the case may be, because it's been documented that there's been high-level Apple executives that have wanted to bring, iMessage and FaceTime to Android. I mean, FaceTime is already kind of there. You can't start one, but you can, be on one. But with iMessage, they've wanted to bring iMessage to Android, but other executives understand that lock-in is far too significant for them to give access to that. And like I said, I'm fine with that. But at the end of the day, give RCS as the backup to iMessage. Just because I don't have an iPhone doesn't mean that a video that I send my wife should look like trash, right? I'm not, and again, like I said, I'm not saying that in a sense of saying that the EU is correct or Google is correct, because honestly, Google doesn't even want to Apple to share iMessage. They just want Apple to take RCS and use it as a backup. Their whole messages guide for Android has said that on record I don't know how many times. And the way that the article is written kind of is a little disingenuous in that regard, because it kind of makes it seem like Google wants Apple to bring iMessage to Android, which isn't what they want. They want it as a backup, so that way if I'm not using an iPhone, I can still get high quality videos and pictures and all the other cool little features and stuff like that. So it always sets a bad precedent when you have a government, I won't say but a government mandating things, right? I kind of look at it, and I think I've made this analogy before. It reminds me, for all my Marvel fans, which I know is a lot of us in here, it reminds me of Captain America's argument in Civil War, where they're talking about the Sokovia Accords, where they're saying like, okay, if we allow the government to mandate us, what if we as the Avengers have somewhere that we want to go to solve a crisis or help a crisis, but the government mandates that we don't get involved or don't do it, right? What if it's somewhere that we feel as though we shouldn't go and, do things, but they force us to because it's government mandated? So USB-C, like I said, I get it. And I think that was overall ended up being a good move for consumers. But at the same time, you kind of end up on the slippery slope when the government can kind of come in and say, look, y'all got to do this or y'all got to do that. Because what if it's something that we as, tech enthusiasts or even the average consumer don't agree with, right? Like don't agree with. And then at the end of the day, I'm done with you, BG. What if it's something that we don't agree with or we think is going to be bad or is going to be a bad consumer experience, but because the government mandated it, now Apple has to do it. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of my kind of take on it, man. I know it's a really touchy subject, and I'm not going to do any of this political back and forth stuff. I stay far away from politics because I'm not educated enough when it comes to it. But yeah, like just talking strictly about, governments getting involved in things like that, man. But yeah, Jojo, I'm done with you. EU is Apple's kryptonite. That's very true. That's very true. That's very true. He said there's chatter. And what's up, Michael? I didn't even say what's up to you, dog. He said there's chatter that the EU laws might prohibit Google's anti-ad blocking measures. That's interesting too. See, even something like that, because like as a creator on YouTube, I don't want people to use ad blockers. Ad blockers is how we generate revenue and one avenue that we have to generate revenue. So that may be something that I as a creator don't agree with, but if the government mandates that Google does it, they may not have a choice. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where it's like a catch-22. Like just because USB-C was great and we finally got it, doesn't mean that we should just say everybody up there, when I say up there, we're talking to government, understands every single decision that they're trying to force tech companies to have to make, right? So we just got to be careful is all I'm saying. A said, I don't know the age demographic in the chat, but I had 6 cents spoiled for me. That's crazy. That's an oldie but a goodie. Now that's a movie that is make or break with the twist, man. That is make or break with the twist. So that is one I would be extremely upset about too. Because I did not see that one coming. And I even saw 6 cents later on in life and didn't know the twist, man. So yeah, that one could definitely be ruined. I'm done with you, JoJo. Stop it. It's ACC's Dead People, the end. I'm done. I heard that the color ain't all that matte black. Now, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it in person, so I don't know, man. I don't know. Michael said, YouTube script for ad blocking detection violates a directive by not obtaining explicit consent from users before conducting browser interrogation. Interesting. So Google got caught with their hands in the cookie jar. He said, I'm jealous of everyone in Europe. They actually have a government body that cares about consumer rights, e-waste, legitimate warranty support. Yeah, I'm not opposed to any of those things, man, for sure. Like I said, I want to be careful with giving them too much of a praise, man, because, and like I said, it could be a thing that's because it's US versus EU type of situation, but I don't want governments telling tech companies what to do, dog. I'm just not a fan unless it's something that for sure benefits everybody, like type C. One cable to rule them all benefits everybody. I don't care how you look at it. He said, RCS has caused me to not get messages because of switching devices to the point I had to keep an iPhone as my main. There needs to be a warning when you switch to disable RCS on an old device first. Yeah, I don't know, MPT. I don't think I've personally... Oh, actually, no. I know what you're talking about. Because it kind of gets like locked up almost, like on the old device. I've had that situation happen too. And like I said, that's why at the end of the day, because I see your comment here too about it needing to be stable, that's why it's a backup. And then if it fails because of whatever reason, SMS, the same way that Google Messages handles messages now. If my dad, who I set up RCS for him, doesn't have RCS working properly at that exact moment for whatever reason, it defaults back to SMS, and I'm totally fine with that. So Apple's would go iMessage, RCS, SMS. So even if it's a situation where, like, if like, look at it from this standpoint, even if it's a situation where, you know, Apple does support RCS and it's the backup to iMessage, and then after that it's SMS, right? Even if it fails somewhere down that line because RCS isn't stable or not working properly, whose fault is that? That's Google's fault. Or who? Well, I'm gonna say it's Google's fault because they've been pushing for this and their platform ain't even ready for prime time. So I get what you're saying, but let's be real. Apple, the reason that Apple's not making RCS the backup has nothing to do with it being stable or not. Like, that has nothing to do with it. This is 100% the easier that Apple makes it for Android people and iPhone people to communicate with each other, there's less of a reason for people to stay connected to iMessage. Because when you think about it, besides sending high quality pictures, videos, read receipts so you can see when somebody's typing, and the fact that it's on an iPhone, I don't see people playing those little games anymore, those little iMessage games. I love those. I used to play those all the time with my son. Nobody plays those anymore. Like, a lot of the other benefits of iMessage, people don't even take advantage of. Like, even the Apple Pay integration. That's so fire. I barely see people taking advantage of that. So it's one of those things, Doug, at the end of the day, I'm not buying that. I don't feel as though it has nothing to do with being stable. I think it's a situation where Apple's like, look, the easier we make it, the less reason people have to stick around. Which, in my opinion, this will always be my opinion, I always preface that with in my opinion, you shouldn't have people buying your product because of a lock-in. You should have people buying your product because it's the best product in that category for that particular user. It's kind of how I see it. Now, there are some people, and I'm sure, you know, you might be one of them, where the iPhone is the best product in its category for your particular workflow. But let's keep it 100% real. The iMessage get in because my girl got it, my family got it, my grandfather and grandparents are older. I don't want to teach them how to use something else. They already know how to work the iPad and da-da-da-da-da. A lot of that exists. A lot of that exists, man. And that's a thing too. You got to look at it from the perspective of if it's the carrier or if it's actually Google's Jive server. Like I know T-Mobile, for example, they've recently switched over to using. No. I don't think T-Mobile recently did. I think T-Mobile did it a little while ago. But anyway, they switched over to using Google's Jive server or whatever, which is making which is supposed to make it more consistent, more seamless, things like that, versus using the T-Mobile branded version of RCS. So that could also help too. That could also help too. A said, I think some people are missing the point. It's a government forcing a company to change its core value. Apple has a walled garden for a reason. And that's a very valid point too. Because some people look at the walled garden as a prison, and some people look at it as like a perfect paradise oasis. If you can work and operate within the Apple ecosystem, even from, and I'm saying this from personal experience, it is such an, I won't say amazing because I don't want to go out of proportion, but it's something that having used it, the entire enchilada, the Mac, the iPad, the phone, the watch, the Buds, the AirPods Maxes, the Apple TVs, all of that, it is very seamless. It is very seamless. And how things work together there's nothing else on the market, in my opinion, that matches it one for one. Samsung has a damn good ecosystem that does a lot of great things, man. You got the phone link integration and this, and the third. But Samsung will never have the same level of fine tuning and optimization that Apple can have because they don't make Windows. They don't make Android. They don't make the hardware in their own, devices and things like that. Like they don't control the entirety of the pipeline. So where Apple can get those fine, minute little things, Samsung won't be able to get that. And there, in my opinion, from like an ecosystem coherency like vibe, like, and when I say that, I mean as in the ones who are the closest to being able to replicate everything that the Apple ecosystem can do, Samsung is probably the closest. Probably the closest. I'm done with you, LaShawn. I see your comment. I ain't putting that up. He said, I say we get Mr. Beast to standardize RCS. Stop it. Apple was caught red-handed because of the disclosures with the Epic case. They admit limiting. See, look, exactly. And that's my point. They flat out, because of the whole court case that they had with Epic, it came out in broad daylight. Apple, I wouldn't be surprised, and I think I said this last week, I wouldn't be surprised if Apple has like how they have a whole department who is just about like human user interface and how normal people are gonna, interact with the device. Like they have a whole separate department for that. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a whole separate department that their literal job is to say, how can we make this new product or this new feature or this new service tie into these other products and further lock consumers in? I wouldn't be surprised. And I'm not saying it in a sense that I want it to be taken as a bad thing. Just because it's bad to me doesn't mean that it's bad for everybody, man. Some people get down in the Apple ecosystem and they do everything, and that's great if that works for you, right? But like I said, I'll always be part of philosophy that you should be selling products and people should be buying your products because those products are exactly what they need for their workflow, not because they feel this lock-in or peer pressure from other people. Like I'll always stand on that hill. Time for Christmas movies. We've already started. Yo, Easy in the building. What up? Hope everything is good with you, homie. He said, I say if EU wants to mandate what Apple has to do or not to, then they need to say Google can't pay to be the default search for Apple devices. I mean, Apple could always say no, but you got a point. Hey, Brad said I'm extra late. It's all good, man. No sweat. Oh, just got a mesh router and it's giving you hell. It's a pain in the butt. MPT said, for me, it's not about iMessage being iMessage. It's that it works seamlessly with my iPhone, Mac, and Apple Watch. I've tried using all Samsung, and it's not as easy as ever to maintain. Exactly my point. Exactly my point, dude. Like I said, if you can operate within that walled garden, like I said, I hate because it has a negative connotation. If you can survive within that ecosystem, it's phenomenal. Like I have no issues with that. But I think that Apple a lot of the times, and this is just my own personal opinion, I think a lot of the time Apple focuses so much on trying to make, not trying, but trying to think up ways that their products are going to work better together rather than focusing on each individual pillar. Now, some of their products are best in class. Like, I would say the Apple Watch is probably best in class. It's probably the best smartwatch in a general overall perspective. Obviously, some people are gonna have different use cases. Some need more battery. I get it, but I'm saying just like from a general perspective, I would probably say Apple Watch is probably the best smartwatch on the market. Tablet is debatable. I personally like the Galaxy Tab series better than any iPad I've ever had, but again, it's 100% debatable. Laptops, I would say at one point the value, especially coming from the M line, was crazy. Now you got Qualcomm coming with some ARM chips that look to be pretty competitive as well. So we'll kind of see on that front, but their laptops were best in class. Like they have really good pieces. And when I look at the Apple ecosystem, I don't have an inherent issue or problem with any part of that ecosystem. For me, it's that I want them to let the iPhone do more. Stop using the excuse of cannibalizing products as a reason to not make your products do more. Let your products become more powerful, man. It's kind of been my thing with Apple, dude. Let the iPad be a real true laptop replacement. You know, let the iPhone do some extra multitasking, that type of stuff. So yeah, man, like I said, kind of my whole MO on it, but I do want to move on to the next article after we finish up these comments. He said, it's like the AOT universe. Paradise is the Apple ecosystem, and Marlene is on the other side. I mean, yeah, kind of, you know? And Aaron and all of them were happy in that walled garden until they found out it was a walled garden. But you did have some people who was totally fine with staying on the island and being like, look, everybody leave us alone kind of thing. Because honestly, if you want to think about the whole story of Attack on Titan, like, it honestly could have been like, a lot of people like to point plot holes, and there's a lot of plot holes in AOT. Like, and this is just kind of my thing, right? And this is kind of my thing. And as Aaron, if you have the power of the founding Titan, you could literally set it up to where you have the Titans from the Rumbling surround Paradise Island. Who's gonna mess with y'all with that type of firepower? Now, his whole argument was that, you know, militaries could develop, you know, better technology and things like that, which that argument, I get it, but still, like, let's be real, which you already know Aaron has started the Rumbling. If you follow Attack on Titan, genocide is never going to be the answer, Aaron. Never. He said, I got an iPhone and still text iPhone people off my Z Flip 5. Bro, I have no problem breaking a chat, dude. I am the first person who will break a chat. The first person. Don't discriminate my comment, homie. Facts. Google just need to work on making messages the best app so Apple users will look at it and be interested. That's true, but honestly, man, I don't see a messaging app being something that would pull away Apple users from Apple. Even if Google Messages was better than iMessage, RCS was stable, I still don't see that bringing Apple users over, dude. Like, I just don't. And that's okay. It doesn't have to. Apple makes up stupid non-ecosystem features for singular use like shortcuts. Just do things natively without workarounds. Makes sense. EU has already started talks with trying to get Apple to have consumers the ability to sideload. That's my issue. Security. Apple's Core and Apple Core. No. You don't have to let it go, Ace. And I get what you mean. That is a valid point. I'm gonna be real though. I've been if you really want to, the whole side loading thing is a waste of time to me. And the reason I say it's a waste of time is because if you really want to side load on an iPhone, you already can. I've been side loading using Alt Store for years, dude. So it's one of those things. I feel like pick and choose your battles. USB-C, that's a battle worth fighting. I agree with that. Side loading, dude, if you really want to side load, Alt Store. Riley, I forget his last name. It starts with a T. Go download Alt Store and you're good to go, dude. Go download Alt Store. Apple ecosystem is proof of the sum of the parts is greater than that of the whole. I would agree to an extent. And again, it's a very personal feature that I want. But until bigger iPhones can do split screen, some type of true multitasking, I don't care if they even rip OnePlus's new multitasking canvas feature. Until iPhones can truly multitask, at least the max and the plus size, nah, I'm good, son. And I'm not saying I'll never buy one because of that, but no, I need that. I need that. I need that. I need that. On a screen that big and a processor that powerful, I'm gonna need Apple to do that. Though. I'm gonna need Apple to do that. He said, most recent, the action button will only, with only one operation, or you need to set up a shortcut to get something done, but still limited to just one function. Yeah, very, very true. Very, very true. He said, I would love to use a Vivo for my phone, Galaxy Tab, Windows, and a good Wear OS watch as they're good individually. Yeah, but at the same time, MPT, you also listed all different products from all different manufacturers too. So that's a little bit unfair. I would say I wish that Samsung ecosystem was just a bit more polished, which that polish that I want them to have, I don't think they'll ever be able to get because they don't own everything, right? But I think it's a difference between having all the products come from one brand versus having a bunch of different pieces and forming an ecosystem. If you have a bunch of different pieces and you're kind of forming your own ecosystem, I feel like you have to kind of expect there to be some things that aren't working properly. Like right now, I'm using a Pixel and I'm using a Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. Now, I have to expect that there are going to be some things that just work better on a Galaxy phone with a Galaxy Watch because they're made from the same brand. If I'm using this watch with a different phone, from this that's not from Samsung, I should expect there to be some things that just aren't going to work right. And and for me at this point is acceptable, right? Because it's far harder to expect all of those brands that you listed to come together and do something to make everything work cohesively versus Apple making literally everything from the software to the hardware to the chipsets and all this other, like they literally control everything. And that's why I say like the only one that I think even has a shot to ever like reach that level of like fine tune and polish is Google, because they control that entire pipeline now, the same as Apple. But obviously, as Apple had to go through growing pains to get to where they are, Google's also going to have to go through those growing pains, and we're seeing some of those growing pains and living through some of those growing pains. Because I swear on everything, the fact that my, and this is going to sound real petty, the fact that my Pixel Watch can unlock my Pixel phone, but my Pixel phone can't do the reverse, it burns me alive. Because like on the iPhone, I never have to put a pin on any device. I never have to put a pin on any device. When I wake up in the morning, I would put my Apple Watch on, I would pick up my iPhone, unlock my iPhone to start my little social media scroll for an hour before work. My watch would automatically unlock because I authenticated on the phone. That's the level of polish and cohesion that I'm talking about. That's not being done anywhere else. I don't know if that's a hard feature to do, but that's the type of cohesiveness I don't see anyone else being able to do unless they're Google, because Google has the same playing field that Apple has. We just gotta wait for Google to get through some of them growing pains. Stop it, BG, because Easy is in here. We do not need that kind of drama right now, sir. Stop it. Stop it. Yep, +1 for All Store. What was the action button before? Always on mute. Mine was always on mute. So I was cool with the action button, dog. Seriously. Woke out of bed with my Apple Watch on. LaShawn, I'm done, dog. Stop it. Stop it. Yep, exactly. So we've been able to sideload for forever, dude. So for me, nah. Like the whole sideloading thing is whatever. I've been doing that for years. So if people really want to sideload, they know how to sideload. I think this argument with the EO is just trying to make it easier, kind of thing. Every company saves something for next year. This is why you never see the true potential of a product until years later. Give you a little, and I get that too, Lewis, and that's all fine and well, dog. But I've been talking about split screen and multitasking since the iPhone 6 Plus, bro, since the first big iPhone. Because at that point, Samsung already had it, and I was like, look, this would be dope. But back then, we had 5.5-inch screens. I was like, you know what? The bezels are really big. There's not as much screen on here as on some other devices. I totally get it. Once we get, I won't say bigger phones, but once we get, you know, phones with bigger screens, Apple can do that. Dude, they should have been doing split screen multitasking of some kind since like iPhone 10s Max, in my opinion. Because that was like the first true like bezel, like super thin bezel, huge 6.7 or 6.8 inch display iPhone we ever got. Like split screen multitasking should have been a thing back then, and it's still not a thing. So at this point, I don't think it's ever coming. I think Apple will always say, we have a product for everything that you want to do. You want to multitask? Here's a Mac, here's an iPad. If you want to just watch content or just play some games here and there or have a communicator, here's the iPhone. If you want to watch, here's the Apple Watch. If you want headphones, here's AirPods and AirPods Max. So, yeah. MPT said what I was saying by listing from different companies is how I would get the best from each category to show how sometimes it's not about the best individual, but what works best together. I mean, that makes sense. Like I said, I understand your argument, dude. I understand your argument, but like I said, I would say even with companies who do have complete control, we still haven't seen the same level of what Apple's doing, man. I think it's gonna be a long time before we actually will ever see something to that level. But let's see here. Honestly, man, I think we might go ahead and wrap it up. I might go ahead and give these last few articles to LaShawn, man. I have one here on Samsung's new AI, the new Humane pen, $700 pen with a 24-month subscription. And Xiaomi, no more unlocking your bootloader. They stopping Android updates if you unlock it. So if you want to unlock that bootloader to maybe throw on a global EU ROM or something like that, you better think twice. You better think twice. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and give these to LaShawn, man. So if you want to hear about any of those topics, make sure you go ahead and hit up LaShawn's stream tomorrow. That's the homie right here. Holla at your boy. He's going to be live with open mic night at 9 p.m. We also got Juan and TK Bay doing best of our week. I want to say it's later on tonight around about 11 o'clock. Check them out. Saturday, because I know I always forget weekends. I'm sorry, y'all. Saturday, Slang in his thing. He going to do his thing. Sunday, I know we got El Jefe doing his thing. Monday, T better go live. Special shout out to T, 100K. Congrats, dude. He better go live on Monday so everybody can celebrate. We can get some drinks. Y'all know how it goes. And then Tuesday, Gigi doing her thing. Wednesday, Wired Wednesday with Easy E. And then back here on Thursday nights. So with that being said, man. Oh, snap. It's 100 episodes? For real? Hold on, y'all. Babe, what time you work tomorrow? You close tomorrow? So the missus closes tomorrow. I'll just kind of leave it at that. The missus closes tomorrow. Interesting. But with that being said, y'all, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one on up. As always, like I told y'all, appreciate the love, the support. Y'all coming through every single week, man, whether it's football. Yeah, he just told me no articles tomorrow, celebration. So we're going to have to save him. I see Delvon came through late, but still great. What up, big homie? Hope everything is good. Hey, he said better bring because we cutting up. Okay. I might have to go get a bottle of something, dog. And I didn't even say what's up, man. I literally read his comment and didn't even say what's up. What up, Barry? Hope everything is good with you, homie. But like I said before, y'all, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Celebration tomorrow night at LaShawn's stream. Be there, man. 100 episodes, man. Doing it big. Appreciate y'all again. I'm about to say appreciate y'all again tomorrow. Appreciate y'all again. As always, this is Ike's Tech Talk. I'll catch y'all in the next live stream. Peace. You better go to LaShawn's live stream tomorrow because it's going to be turn.